Hi, I'm Andy, and today I'll show you an amazing device the Israeli Army uses to extract over 40 gallons of water a day from dry desert air to provide fresh water for their soldiers. I'm also going to reveal the startling reason why over 20,000 homeowners across the U.S. already have one installed in their backyard, built on the same innovative Israeli designs, and how you too can have one up and running by the end of the day, pumping out water on demand from nothing but surrounding air. And it's all because of what NASA is predicting. We're facing a 100-year-long mega drought. And the worst part is, it's already here. It already started 20 years ago, with California being just the tip of the iceberg. Actually, NASA says it's going to be so big, it's going to affect the entire continent, coast to coast, Canada to Mexico. And we're already witnessing this with severe drops in our country's biggest freshwater reservoirs, Lake Mead, Lake Oroville, and even the big lakes up north, like Canada's Lake Superior, the world's largest freshwater lake, dropping to an all 81-year low. People all around the U.S. are already in water deficit areas, with daily limits enforced by law and hundreds of thousands of wells drying up each year. And a lot of those people are digging for new wells in vain because the water is not there anymore. The Ogalla Aquifer, our biggest underground water source, is shrinking, turning wet, fertile lands to dust. That's why this amazing water harvester changes everything, because it's not getting water from a lake or a well, but from the air. More specifically, from the humidity in the air. Animals and plants have been using this principle to survive and thrive in the middle of the desert for thousands of years. And that exact principle is what the Israelis used when they built their water harvester. And with a bit of luck, I came across John, a wilderness survival expert, the man who adapted those Israeli designs and made them work, helping thousands of people in the U.S. and me secure our own on-demand water supply to provide water for our families no matter how hard the mega drought hits, all while saving thousands of dollars on water bills in the process. And that literally changed my life. He named it the Air Fountain, virtually an endless, self-sustained water source, a fountain that's tapping into the humidity in the air around us, giving us unlimited water. Now, the system can be placed anywhere and runs on solar power, so it's highly versatile and portable. It can cut your water bill while serving as a much-needed reliable water source in the upcoming mega drought. And best of all, this design works with no smoke or noise to bother the neighbors and none of the other hassles that come with digging a well or stockpiling. You just turn it on and water starts coming out of the tap. It's cheap, easy to build, and easy to use. That's why over 20,000 homeowners across the U.S. alone are enjoying the benefits that come with this life-saving device. And the best thing is, you can have your own air fountain up and running by the end of the day. So you too will be able to secure your personal, portable, on-demand water source to save money and protect your family and loved ones. So please, stick with me for the next 5 minutes, and my friend John will give you all the hushed-up details about this life-saving marvel, how it all started, and how getting robbed for water drove him to research and adapt that Israeli design and make it work for pennies on the dollar, right from his own backyard, giving him all the water his family will ever need.
Sorry, buddy, we're taking your water. I felt the cold barrel of a gun pressed against my head, and I braced for the worst. A stabbing pain in the back of my head, and I woke up in the hospital. Of all things, they didn't take our money. They took our water. How did that happen? How did we end up getting robbed for water? Hi, my name is John Gilmore, and I almost died getting robbed from my family's water supply. It's something that just shouldn't happen. Not in our day and age. But it did. And that dreadful experience forced me to look for an alternative on-demand water supply. Something that I could use day in and out without stockpiling and without putting my family in danger ever again. So stick with me for the next 5 minutes and I'll show you an amazing invention that the Israeli Army, one of the most advanced armies in the world, uses to provide fresh water for their soldiers, even in the middle of the desert. You'll learn how they generate vast amounts of water in places where they can't dig wells or get it through pipes. And you'll learn how you can do it too, no matter where you live. Hint, it has to do with moisture in the air. But before we get into that, I want you to know why I got robbed, why it happened to me, and why it might happen to you too. So what I'm about to tell you right now, you might find disturbing. According to NASA, we're going to face a 100-year-long drought. A drought more devastating than the 1930s Dust Bowl that forced America to plunge into crisis and left millions of people without the basics of life, like water and food. And this is not something that's going to happen in 50 years, in 20 years, or in 5. This is already here. It's already begun, over a decade ago. The past 20-year drought in California is the beginning, and the worst is yet to come because it's about to spread. The drought is so big that it will affect the entire continent, from Canada to Mexico. And it doesn't have anything to do with global warming, but with a strange weather pattern that happens once every 1,000 years. And the worst part is, this drought will crush our American civilization with the way of life we hold so dear, because we're completely unprepared. The mainstream ways for finding or storing water to quench your family's thirst will soon be useless. And relying on them will actually make you vulnerable and dependent on FEMA, the government greedy water suppliers. Or even worse, they put a big bullseye on your house, making you the best target for looters that will kill for a sip of water.